Alan's Trains and Things, we're doing some rail reviews on a couple cars that we acquired at our hobby shop. And we want to pass them on to y'all and see what you think about them. And we'd like to have y'all comment, smash that like button, ring that bell, if you would please, at the end of the video. And if you haven't subscribed to Alan's Trains and Things and RDA in scale, we'd like you to do that, please. And if you are subscribed, we thank you for doing so. So, let's move on with this review. First up, we got the Scale Trains TT GX 693-412 that Scale Train's done, and we will after we run the cars around the track a couple times, we will take each in. We will take. Try saying that 3 times. We will take each car and we will put it on our foam cradle over there, and we'll get a close-up of the car. You can already see the air valve detail and where the lever is on the side of the car. How they do the detail there is really, really exceptional. And you can see the detail of the rivets and that on the sides of the car, and the paneling of the Scale Train's car. Even the I like how the ladders, they almost, if I zoom in here, they look like they're designed to fit the car. They're bent in a little bit, so you don't really, if you was to accidentally bump one, you wouldn't have to worry about them breaking off. They probably could still break off, but they're actually contoured to the side of the car, which to me is pretty awesome. We'll zoom this back out, and we'll show the side view of it here. And like I say, they did a really good job on these cars. The next car is my Atlas slash BMLA car. BMLA made these cars as they did hopper cars and flat cars and the spline cars, and they did a pretty cool job on these cars. And Atlas is making sure that they do the same as well. And this one here happens to be the Naked Juice car. And then my final set of cars that I got was my KATO intermodal cars with the hub group on there. And we'll put 5804 in forward, and we'll pull the slack out of the cars, and we'll take a spin around the track. And we're zooming up to 17 speed steps here. The scale trains looks really, really good. Like I say, in its design. The only thing I noticed on it, it had just a little bit of a wobble to it, as some cars do. To me, it feels like it's a little underweight, but other than that, it don't do too bad. Like I say, it has a little bit of a wobble to it, so it could be that could be possibly from a axle that is not spinning, fully. It could be a little bit of out of kilter or whatever, and that might be causing that. Or it just might need, the trucks underneath might need a spacer, like I've seen on some Intermountain cars. Or it could need, maybe some just different set of wheels in there. But it does look good in the consist here. We're gonna bump her up to 28 speed steps there. All the other cars got a little bit of a jiggle to them, but not too bad. But a car that does that, a car that bounces back and forth, or has that motion in it, it can be fixed. I mean, it can with a little bit of weight put into it. Of course, you don't want to overly weight the car, but you could help it out by that, or you can help it out by changing out the wheels or doing some adjustments on the trucks. But the couplers line up good. And they hooked up real good, and we can show that too going along in here in the review. And we will make an adjustment on the turnouts here, so we can go on the inner siding here. And we'll let her pass through one more time. And we'll let you guys see her going through this end down here. And we'll bring 5804. We'll go back here to the main here. And we will slow 5804 down. And we'll back into the yard here. And we'll see how the cars do going into the yard here. Let's see how the... Okay, we'll bring her down to a stop here. Let's see. Okay, we will let this go into another segment here. Okay. And we'll back her up. we'll see how. And looks like the intermodals are doing pretty good going through the turnouts there. Backing into the siding here. And hopefully we can back the auto rack in there too. But we're losing a little bit of space. Hopefully we can render that when we add that length on down there, and we can lengthen out these yard tracks. But looks like it did pretty good. Backing them onto the yard tracks. Now we'll bring her back out. And while I'm doing that, sounds like Amtrak number 3 is heading east. The other Amtrak train came through just about 30-40 minutes ago. I was doing some running here with the layout, and heard westbound go through, and now eastbound's heading through. Like I say, that's the Southwest Amtrak Southwest Chief. Okay, we'll pause the video here, and we'll disconnect. We'll disconnect the cars here, and we'll show you a little bit of close-up detail. That sounds like UP there, but it also sounded like Amtrak was coming into the station. I'd say about right now, UP's going by the prison. Yeah, he's probably making the curve and going by the prison. Yep. And there's Amtrak. So Amtrak's waiting for UP. He's at the station. And there's Amtrak. Yep. And here's some of the cars. Yeah, there's Amtrak. He sounds like he's rolling in or rolling out. So, okay, let's move on to the review. And is it ever cold out there? Woo! Cold, 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 cold. Okay. I was talking about the scale trains auto rack, and so we took I brought my microtrains auto rack over here as well. I want to zoom in here. Yeah, you can hear the trains going by really good. I'm going to zoom in here, and you can see the detail, the wording detail, really good. See if I can keep this from shaking here. And you can see it says 28-inch shoes. And then the wording right there, although this might be a little fuzzy right there. Back her out just a little bit here. And BI means for bi-level. And then it says here the AAR deck clearance. And I believe A is 63 and a half, and the B is 62 and a quarter. Yep, that's the AAR deck clearance. And then this here shows the other stuff on the auto rack as well. BNSF is done really well. This is done really good there. Special number 24 brake beam required. You can see the detail underneath, the pipe detail. Going down here, you can read TTGX really well on here. And again, it says all your stuff there. We'll back her back just a little bit here. And you might be able to read that there, but it may have to have definite magnification, but it's with magnification you probably could see it there. Okay, we're going to turn the car over. We're going to bump up the light here. Now, yes, we can't bump up the light. Battery on the phone is a little too low, so we'll just do it this way. But the underframe pipe detail for the air valve system, air valves and all that is done very, 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 very well. Scale Trains went to the house on the quality on this here. It is a knockout punch right there. Detail is really, really good, and they dish out the bottom of the cars so the wheels don't rub any there. I think that's done really, really nice, and I like the couplers on here and how they move, just like the real ones. Use the real metal pins in there, and they might be a little bit of a pickle to hook up sometimes, but you know, if you put a little bit of puff of Labelle's 134 or that stuff that you can use for couplers and that would probably loosen that up really, really good, and make that really, really easy to hook the cars up. Like I say, if you give the cars a little bit of a shove, they will couple up. I do like the way Microtrains details, and let's back this out here a little bit. I do like how Microtrains details their sides of the cars. I like this this detail here, how they do it. It looks like a plastic, but it almost looks like a metal. The frames, where this sets in right here, is metal. There are times though that you might have to do some filing on the metal part of this, that where it sets up into the car, because these do here pop out. If this metal frame here is not flush like it is on mine, before it was like it is now, or the way I have it now, it stuck down on this side here, and it was bad enough it made it look like the car was leaning. But just a little bit of filing along through here over to here, a little bit of filing on one side is all you basically have to do, and then this metal frame will fit flush up into the car, and it will, well, when you take the car and put it on the track, it won't look like it's, you know, it's leaning over. And so we'll put the cars on my super elevated. Let's see if we can get this to... I'm thinking about putting my super elevateds, you know, in here and see how the cars do. I don't know how my steam engine will do running on it, or my locomotives. They say if you do not have them set just correctly, they can tend to have the engines can have an issue. But here's what the cars look like on the super elevated. They look like they're leaning pretty cool. The distance in both cars is exactly, you know, one thing that's neat about the KATO super elevated, it keeps the distance, and the cars, you know, they look pretty cool leaning into those curves there. But we thought we'd show that and see what you guys thought. We're still thinking about changing those rails out there for these super elevated. And I did try the super elevateds a long time ago, and my engines that kind of acted like they were cutting out when they were going through. And it might be that the super elevated, you might need to make sure that they're, you know, you might have to put more electricity through them. You might have to put more power rail joiners in them, just to, you know, to make sure that those rails, you know, are got that electricity through them, because of the elevation. You know, might as I mentioned, when I was running my trains on them, they seemed to have kind of a little issue. It was as a test track is what I was running at that time in the kitchen, on our kitchen table. And but that was I just got my double track. I got went ahead and purchased these super elevateds, and I had my track set up in here. I never did bring them in here and put them on here, but I thought I'd put the cars on there and let you guys see that. And in the comments, tell me what you think about them sitting on these super elevateds. I think they look pretty darn sharp. Okay. And let's see here. Okay, making sure we didn't bend anything underneath there. This stuff is so little and so thin. I think this under pipe detail right here is metal right here and metal right here. Get the camera to zoom in. I try to hold it here so I'm not bending anything. I'll show you guys the doors here. You guys can see the doors and the detail here. And that looks pretty good right there. Do not apply heat to the doors. Lock. Let's see. What does it say here? Come on, focus. Try to get this to focus in here. Lower something under magnification. I think it says lowers and locked hinge decks, something. But the detail is really, really good. I think it's really, really good. And they got excessive height car, and I think they do a really good job on these detail work. On the microtrains, and it might be because it's just it might be the series of the car. The microtrains, it's going to lean over because of where I've got it at. They've got the doors actually have like they're open on the ends here, and the detail doors must be closed and locked before moving car. So that is pretty neat there. And then it says excessive height car on there as well. So, but we'll lean that over, and we'll put the cars back on the track, and we'll get the naked juice car. And but before we'll do that, right quick, we'll show you guys some info that they put on these. Let me pause. Okay, this is a rivet counter. It tells you the history of the auto rack here. Show that there. This is when they started using this particular car, the BNSF car, mid 2015 to present, series 6. Panel from the left has one solid panel for the BNSF logo, stenciled BI for bi-level, late version. 14 finely molded corrugated sided panels, late, indoors, zigzag angle, in-seal step, in-seal grab irons, and side seal grab irons. It's getting late. For some people this is early, but doing this at 3 o'clock in the morning. Low mounted side ladders, highly detailed under brake system with wire form brake rods and airline plumbing, photo etched metal detail, brake rods, airline plumbing, support brackets, plastic brake and beams, control on all new ASF low deck swing motion trucks. It says it will run on 11-inch radius, but recommended for 19. Paint, color match, true color paint. So they're trying to make sure that the cars are the same as what the real prototypes are, and that's awesome. Okay, we'll pause this and we'll get the naked juice car. I really like how Atlas, zoom this back out. I really like how Atlas has done these cars. I'm glad they're still making them. BLMA, I said BM, yeah, BMLA. They had some damn sharp looking cars when that company was going. The Santa Fe beer cars, they use them to haul kegs and stuff like that. One of the places up there at the Coors plant there in Golden, they had cars there all the time. Matter of fact, they probably had cars there when me and my dad took a ride with the truck driver. He was a good friend of my dad's, and we went there. And of course, it was snowing like something else when we went up there to or went over to Denver, and then went up to Golden, and they were probably there being loaded. But these refrigerated cars, like I say, I'm sorry if I'm shaking this around too much. They are detailed really, really good. I'm going to zoom in here, let you guys catch the detail here a little closer. They do a really, really good job on detailing here. Here on our final segment, wanted to, of our review, wanted to show you guys our Atlas BMLA car. It's the Naked Juice car, and wanted to show you guys the detail on it. I can use my flash on my camera phone. My camera phone's battery was going out on me, so I had to charge it up and to do this segment here. I'll try not to shake this so you guys can see this on the car. You can read that really good. And then that on the bottom of the car for the controls and stuff like that. What I thought was really cool on these cars is how the where your grab irons and stuff like that are. They're basically molded into the car, but they look like an actual grab iron that you can grab onto. When you're looking at the car like this, away, when you're just looking at it, it looks like it's, like it's white. But if you put a little bit of light on it like this, you can actually see the gray in the grab iron. Same thing with the where your steps are. You can see that too. And then you can see where the doors slide here on the top and the bottom here. And then it says close and lock door, and then it shows the seal, and it says opening and close. They detail that pretty good. And then down here on the end, it tells where to jack to lift the car, and diesel fuel only. And you can see carrier in it's with the screen label. And if you gently zoom up there, you can see that that's a 2500R carrier unit. Kind of back out just a little bit. The wording from where the Naked Juice is, it looks like that lettering is in green, but it's kind of hard to tell. If it might be a greenish gray looking, but to me it looks green. You can almost read it, and under magnification you could probably read it, and it looks like you can see a little bit of flake in the car. So it's detailed pretty well, and I really like the way we'll back this off, how they do the where the naked juice is at, how that label stands out. You can kind of feel it on with your finger, and then when I pop this back on, I'll shine it down here. You can see that the label kind of looks like it stands out a little bit. It stands out away from the car, and to me that gives its a little bit more neatness to the car. And so we will turn the car here on the side. You can read the lettering there, which again looks like it's in green. You can see the label there, and the labels on the sides of the unit. Again, this is the carrier unit. You can see the cabling going from the unit to and the for the tank, for the fuel tank, and that's your control right there. Like I say, that looks like that's probably kind of like a greenish gray, it looks like to me. So done really well. This car is done really well, I think. And so I'm not going to bring my KATO cars and put them on the cradle here. They're fairly easy to put together, but I'm not going to break them down I'll just show them more, on the layout as they are. They do roll real good, and KATO always does pretty good job with their wheel sets. Occasionally you have a wheel that's that has a wobble to it, but for the most of it, they're pretty well straightforward. And let's see if we can show the under bottom detail here. You can see the bottom details done really nicely here on here. It's not as and you can also, if you look here, you can see where that's attached onto the car here, and where your fuel tank's at. But the piping detail for the brakes and stuff like that is done, I think really good. It's not as exquisite as what the scale, the rivet counter scale trains is, but it's still pretty good. I mean, they do a pretty good job. This is an Atlas car, and so I think Atlas, is continuing that great thing that BMLA did, and giving us cars. They're top of the line, master line. I wished in some ways they would do most of their cars, or all of their cars, actually, to this extent. And I wish they would transfer over their plastic. Some of their cars are really exceptional. I've got a tank car down there that has, that is done really well. It's not a master line, I don't believe, but it has plastic wheels on it. And it'd be nice if they would, bump them up to the metal wheels, and like the wheels that they have on here, and go to the couplers that they put on here. These couplers, to me, make the car. And so with that, we will put this car on the track, and we will finish out the run by. Okay, we will we'll back her up. And we should be hooked up, I think. Whoops, nope, we're not right there. There we are. And we'll do okay. Thought we had the naked juice car and the other cars hooked up, but we didn't have her totally hooked up, so we'll back her up, and there we go. Sometimes a diamond, sometimes a stone. This time we'll help her along. Okay. Sorry for the stop there real quick, but we had to make an adjustment on the turnout. Our turnout was still open to the yard, and just noticed that we don't want the turnout open to the yard when it needs to be opened up to the main. And we'll zoom this back down. And running at 29 speed steps. I'm going to try to get some more of those refrigerated cars. I really like them, and we get our layout set up a little bit more here. We're going to get one of those buildings that we can set it up as a refrigerated facility, and we might just have the refrigerated facility to where you can pass the cars through like the real one does. I think there is a facility in Utah or somewhere, and the trains, or maybe it's California, that the train cars can pass right through, and they can load the cars, and they can bring in so many cars. The doors will, I think the doors, they have those flaps that that swing that you can roll the trains through, or you can walk through them, but the trains can roll through. And then I think they can, the doors fit up against the cars to keep it cold inside of the facility, and they can load the cars, and then once the cars are loaded, pull on out, and bring in some more. I think that's pretty awesome. So we'll bring 5804 around one more time, and we will park her here on the main here for the rest of the morning, and I'll put her about right about there. Put her about right about there. And so with that, guys, thanks for watching this review. And if you can get you one of those cars, I think that'd be a good addition to your layout. Either one of them, the Naked Juice car, or one of the different railroads, one of the scale trains, auto racks, and the different railroads, like I said, UP, Canadian National, Canadian Pacific, um, BNSF, and I think Norfolk Southern, and CSX, I think, is they have each for each one of the railroads. BNSF has two colors, the orange one and the white one. And then they got the new little beaver loco, I think, on the CP, I think, on the Canadian Pacific. So, guys, thanks for watching, and hope you're having a great Monday morning. And again, as I did at the first of the video, please smash the like and ring that bell and give us a comment, please. And we thank you for our subscribers. And if you're not subscribed, please subscribe. And we'll see you on the next one. Thanks again for watching. Alan's Trains and Things, RDA and Scale.